Hmm. Good morning. I feel especially calm this morning because I'm enjoying a runner's high. I went for a run this morning early rather than doing my immediate meditation when I wake up because it's going to get hot today. It's going to get up to over 100 degrees, and I wanted to get out there and run before it gets really hot. And so the run combined with my meditation has me feeling at a really stable, high vibration. So, what's happened this week? A lot's been going on. My client conversations this week were spectacular. It's interesting. I had a one client who is whose daughter is also a client. They happen to be driving through Portland. They actually live in Washington. And because they were driving through Portland at the time of the mother's session, they wanted to meet in person. And so they met with me in person, and the experience was really interesting because typically, because sessions are done online on the internet, people don't get the full effect of my vibrational emanation. And so on Monday, when the client met me in person at the local library, it was very interesting. Afterward, she sent me a text message saying that the experience was really intense. And I told her that that's because she met in person. My vibration is very high, and it is, as an emanation, very intense. And I told her that the cool thing about doing the sessions on the internet is that it acts as a great diffuser. But one of the great things about having the session in person is when she had said something that was really resonating with my broader perspective, and my broader perspective was expressing joy through my physical body, evidenced by goosebumps. When I told her I was having goosebumps for that reason and showed her, she got the up close and personal experience of seeing the goosebumps appear. It was a great opportunity for her to see firsthand with her own eyes how powerful the relationship with one's broader perspective is. And by the way, everyone has this connection. In fact, so what is our broader perspective? I'm going to do a glossary video about all of the terms I use in the positively focused practice, but just real quickly, your broader perspective is you that remains in non-physical. So you're experiencing, we all are experiencing multiple dimensions, alternate dimensions, an infinite number, all simultaneously. And part of us has to coordinate all of that activity. And that is our broader perspective. And our broader perspective is us remaining in non-physical, coordinating all the activities of all the alternate versions of us, conducting activity throughout all of those dimensions. And the cool thing about having that broader perspective, that bigger picture, as I talk about, I'm going to talk about the bigger picture here in a minute, given a video I just recorded this last week, but have the part of you that has that broader perspective is really valuable because you can, in your physicalness, in your physical body, you can communicate with that version of you. And because that version of you has a broader perspective, it has a better view of the things you want and the timing of those things happening. And so you can communicate with that part of you. And as a result of communicating with that part of you, you can gain valuable insight into the unfolding of your life experience. Now, you have to get to the point where you've significantly soothed resistance before you can perceive the communication, because the communication happens as I think Thoreau used to say it, as a still small voice. And it usually doesn't come through as a voice initially. It comes through as a vibration, like goose pimples or chills on the spine. But as you nurture that relationship, you can get to the point where you can not just feel goose pimples or shivers down the spine, but you can actually communicate with your broader perspective, and your broader perspective will communicate back to you in its language. You can ask it yes or no questions, and your broader perspective will answer those questions in yes or no. And by doing so, you can get really good guidance. Really good guidance. And this is the thing about us as eternal beings. We are each existing in our own personal reality. No one else is there. And when we are wanting guidance because we don't know what I'm sharing here, we often look to other human beings. But other human beings don't have a lot to say with regard to our own unfolding reality because they're not there. And so all they can do when they offer opinions is their opinions of their opinions of their experience in their own unique realities. And sometimes that's good advice, but it's more accurate and better to get advice from your broader perspective because it has clarity with regard to where you're going and where you've come from. So I was talking with this client who she's an advanced client, but she hasn't put a lot of focus on developing the supernatural capabilities that are available to everyone that are a part of the advanced practice. And so I was talking with her about how to cultivate this aspect of her broader consciousness. And it's interesting because after the session, about a couple of hours after the session, she texted me in somewhat distress over a circumstance related to taxes. And it was a perfect opportunity to reintroduce to her the wisdom that she has available through her broader perspective. Our broader perspective offers so much value. And this positively focused framework that I work with clients enables people to tap into that value. And when they tap into that value, their life goes amazingly. It's so interesting because one of my other clients who's been with me since 2018, she was talking with me yesterday about 2 really glorious experiences she had as a result of this communication with her broader perspective. In the first instance, her broader perspective encouraged her to go on a walk in this location she had never been before. And so she went and she had a fantastic walk where she rendezvoused with some wonderful aspects of nature. And then later that day, she typically goes to this one drugstore in this one location, and her broader perspective suggested that she go to a different drugstore. And when she went to this other drugstore, this drugstore was closing that branch. And as a result, all of the products that she wanted to get from the drugstore she usually gets from, the products at this branch that was closing was significantly discounted. And so she got these products at a significant discount, all as a result of following her broader perspective. So these are a couple of real practical examples of how having a connection with, a clear connection with our broader perspective can have practical value in our daily life. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so what else has happened this week? Some amazing experiences in meditation. So if you're following this feature of the Positively Focused YouTube channel, the Raw blog, then you have some inclination that I am pursuing several supernatural capabilities: shapeshifting, time travel outside of my body. And all of those are showing evidence in my meditation practice. And the evidence that I'm perceiving with regard to shapeshifting, for example, is the body. It's really hard to describe, actually. And at some point, the evidence will be so clear that I'll be able to show you the evidence. But the evidence with regard to shapeshifting is this feeling of my body beginning to take the shape of the target shape I'm wanting to shapeshift into. I'm not going to tell you right now what the target shape is. If you go to my blog at positivelyfocused.co and search for shapeshifting, I talk about it in the series that I'm writing there that covers more detail about what I'm doing with regard to this supernatural ability. But I can feel the body ready to adopt the target shape. And the calibration that's still needing to happen is me soothing resistance in my consciousness in order to embrace and allow the body to move into that target shape. This is the thing about all manifestation, is our manifestations can happen for us much faster than we believe they can. But in order for that to happen, we have to allow the manifestation to happen. And that looks like soothing resistance, the resistance we have with regard to the manifestation we desire. And in the case of shapeshifting, one of the bits of resistances that I'm calibrating to soothing is fear. Like, once I shapeshift into the target, am I going to be able to shapeshift back into this physical appearance? It's really interesting. And as I move through that calibration, I'm realizing more and more, like a knowing, that the physical body, and this is another source of resistance that many people have about something like shapeshifting. It's like, first of all, we believe that shapeshifting is impossible, and that introduces the resistance that makes shapeshifting impossible for people. Another bit of beliefs that create resistance to being able to shapeshift is the belief that the physical body is a object, a solid object that is comprised of cells and bone and muscle and tendon, etc., and DNA, and it's the DNA that causes the body to exist in the way it does. And all of that is true as manifestations, but there is a, I want to say that the Latin form is sine qua non, or maybe prima facie, or something like that. There's a source from which the body is emerging, and it's not DNA. There's a vibrational source, because everything physical begins first as a vibration. And so the vibrational origin that is ongoingly producing the manifestation that is the physical body, that vibrational origin can be shifted. And so that vibrational origin is a vibration. It's a focus. It's a focus from our eternal, awareized energy self. And if we change the focus that's creating the emanation that is the physical body, because the body is nothing more than an emanation, a physical emanation, just like every other manifestation, physical manifestation is. All physical manifestations are emanations of vibration. If we change our focus that's creating the emanation of the physical body, then the physical body must change to match that emanation focus. So being able to realize, like, know that the physical body is a projection, it's not solid, it's an emanation, it's a projection of consciousness. Being able to know that soothes significant resistance that's making things like regrowing limbs and teleportation even, and in this case, shapeshifting. It removes the resistance that makes those things impossible, thereby making them possible. The thing is, everything we want is possible. Anything that we can conjure within our consciousness is possible to experience. We just have to align with the probable future reality where that thing becomes possible. And we align by soothing our resistance. So it's really cool. I talk about a lot of the basic fundamentals that I'm touching on here in this raw blog in a new video I just completed this week, and I'm so excited to share it with you. It's called Universe 101, and it's if I have my way, I'm going to, if I'm not distracted by other pleasurable experiences, then I will have this video up maybe on Monday, maybe the next Monday. But it goes into great detail about how manifestations happen, how the universe happens, how the universe works as a function of human consciousness, or eternal awareized consciousness, which is what we all are. That video is going to provide the basis of all the other basic fundamental videos I'm going to be producing here on this channel that go into great detail about how to do what my clients and I are doing through the positively focused framework. And so I'm eager to share that one with you. It's called Universe 101. But what's really cool about, see, this is the thing about this positively focused practice, is you become aware of the wonderful unfoldings that are the unfoldings of all that is. And my creation of this video, Universe 101, is a great example. The week before, I did a recording. I produced that recording, Universe 101, expecting that I would publish it this past Monday. And what's interesting was my broader perspective and I both were not very happy with the result of that one. We knew that we could do a better job. And so this week, when I recorded it again, it was so delightful producing that video. I had so much fun talking about the basics of how the universe works. And you can tell in the video how much fun I was having. And so I'm I know, I know that the energy that I'm calling fun, I totally imbued in that video, Universe 101. And I hope you watch it because you'll get a sense of how, not just how powerful the positively focused practice is and how powerful you are as an eternal creator, but you'll also get kind of, I'm tying this up really nicely. You'll also get a sense of what that client was talking about when she said that the session was intense, because the intensity of the joy that I had in producing Universe 101 totally shines through in this revised version that I did this week. So I'm eager to share that with you. Oh, there's also, I created a new AI and spirit short called Stellar Humans to accompany the longer video I did on becoming stellar human for AI and spirit, the AI and spirit section of the channel. That short is going to come out on Monday. It came out beautifully. So, you see, I do these videos for my own satisfaction and joy. I'm not doing them to become a YouTube celebrity. There's something I want to say, and in the process of saying it, I find myself feeling tremendous satisfaction and joy. And this video is no different. And so when I put together that short, it came out so amazingly, especially with the timing of the music and how it comes in at this particular time in the short. Is just really beautiful. The last thing I want to talk about is how AI is enabling me to do all of this with such ease and efficiency. My production value has increased tremendously as a result of using artificial intelligence to both write content, to write scripts, to create the visuals that I use, and even to guide me on putting together or finding sources of clips that I can use for documentaries. I have my first documentary I'm working on that's going to talk about why artificial intelligence is happening, why the explosion is happening right now, and why didn't it happen like in the 1970s when everyone was really excited about it. And AI led me to these sources on the internet that have all the clips I need to produce that documentary. And what's really cool about that is if I had to do that research on my own, it probably would have taken at least 5 times as long. And so I'm just really appreciating how AI is enabling me to communicate this stuff to you guys, and appreciating the joy I'm experiencing in witnessing, being consciously aware of the benefits that AI is providing to me. And I know that because it's providing those benefits to me, it's providing similar benefits to millions of other people. And that is the evidence, you guys. That is the evidence of the unfolding reality that will include all of us no longer having to work. I am, in my own personal life, seeing how AI is increasing the productive capability of myself. And so for sure, AI is going to do the same thing for companies, thereby making human labor obsolete. And as that happens, a new world is emerging. And because that new world is going to remove the need for us to labor for what we want and need. That new world is so inspiring to me, because in that new world where we no longer have to work, where we no longer have to trade our labor for the things we want and need just for myself, it's going to be a world that I have been eagerly anticipating my entire life. And I am so joyful that I am living in a time not just to witness it happening, but to have the context of the past, which as a backdrop makes what's happening for me so much more delicious. Okay, that's it for today's Raw blog. Happy Friday, and I will see you next time. And see you in the comments.